Do you ever worry about the future? If you could be younger again, when things weren't nearly as complicated, and the future wasn't nearly as frightening, would you go back? You see, the automatic answer for most people is yes. And there's a part of me, the timid part, that says yes also. He's saying, stick to what you know. Do what you do best, and you'll always succeed. If you try too many new things, you might fail. And then what? But then there's also another part of me, the more adventurous side, that says no. I'm ready to try new things. I'm ready to do things that scare me. And I'm ready to go into the future with all of my heart, no matter what. But you see, even though those two sides of me are so drastically different, the reality is that when I walk outside every single day, both of them shapes all of my actions. And for that reason, I'm not fearless. You see, the wise Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, to always do what you're afraid to do. Well, I disagree. Because if we take the word fearless and break it up into its two parts, you'll get the same thing that a dictionary definition will tell you. You'll get the same thing that a quick Google search will tell you. It all comes down to a singular definition, and that is without fear. But I mean, fear's inside of us for a reason, right? You feel it, I feel it. What's it there for? Well, it's there to keep us from doing the stupid things. You know the types of things that I'm talking about. And it's there to keep you from making bad decisions. So that's why, to me, being fearless is actually just being reckless. And these days, I've learned how to distinguish between the two types of fear. The good type of fear, the one that's keeping me from doing all those dumb things, and the bad type, the one that's trying to hold me back from trying all the new things that I want to try. But it wasn't actually that long ago when I was a timid freshman who used to like to sit in the band room during lunch and watch his friends play video games. For him, it was hard to try new types of food in a restaurant. For him, heck, it was even hard for him to try a new flavor of ice cream. And I've come a long way since then, because now I'm ready to go into the future even though I'm scared. And I'm ready to do the things that terrify me most, like giving a TED Talk. But how did I get from that timid freshman to where I am today? You see, it was actually both sides of me that shaped me in one of the most pivotal moments of my life, just a couple years back. In the summer after my freshman year, I was going on my family vacation to visit relatives in Tianjin, China. Population 15.5 million. It's the fourth largest city in the country. And it was like any other vacation. But I do remember that as we were coming down in the plane, I noticed something strange. I saw a thick layer of fog. I mean, it didn't bother me because I see fog occasionally around here, so I thought if I wait a day, no more than 2, then it would clear, right? But then the plane kept going down, and it hit the ground. And that's when it hit me. You see, because that wasn't fog. That was smog, and it was smothering the city. I was lucky that I had my inhaler for my own asthma, but the people around me weren't so fortunate. I saw people coughing. I saw people wheezing. I saw people wearing masks just so that they can breathe a little bit better. And seeing that smog scared me. It scared me that the blue skies that I see outside right now might actually become a rarity in the future. It scared me that the carnivorous plants that I grow at home, yeah, I grow carnivorous plants, might actually die one day. And it scared me that the ridiculous types of bottled air that you see being sold in the Lorax might actually become a major commodity one day. But the fear that I felt then was something slightly different from what I normally felt. You see, the timid side of me was still saying, no, don't do anything about it. You hate trying new things. Why would you do anything about it? But at the same time, when I thought about it a little bit more, it didn't seem dangerous. What was the harm in trying something new? So when I got back from China, I dove into environmentalism Through camps, internships, nonprofit work, I did everything that I could to actually make a difference. And one of the things that I did was help teach a summer camp called Nature Way. It was led by a local nonprofit called the Student Environmental Education Coalition. But I remember throughout the course of the week, I watched as my students, I watched as David, Declan, Madison, I watched as they learned about conservation biology, marine sciences, and ecology. I watched as they built sustainable houses out of popsicle sticks. I watched as they built ecosystems out of just plants and dirt. And I watched as one group even wrote a letter to the governor on a local environmental justice issue. And he responded. So that's pretty cool. But what I actually remember most at the end was after we'd given out superlatives, I remember them all hugging us one last time. And I remember that at the beginning of the camp, when I'd asked one of them what she wanted to do when she grew up, she had no idea. But at the end of the camp, when I asked that exact same question, she told me she wanted to be an environmental engineer. And that meant something to me, because I felt like I had actually made a difference. You see, those kids, they finally gave me a reason to maybe not fear as much. And so from that plane ride, which led to Nature Way, which led to now, I've done everything that I could to help protect the planet. But like I said at the beginning, fear's inside of us for a reason, right? Well, so actually every single step of the way, the timid side of me has helped me. It's those situations where it's just days before an event and hardly any planning has gone on. That's when you start to think, maybe, just maybe, we should do something about it. And that's exactly what I've done. Because I was scared, because it was keeping me from making all those bad decisions, I've had to postpone events. I've had to cancel them, all because I was afraid. And being scared also made me realize that the planet is connected to all of us. It's not just about me, it's not just about you, it's about all of us. Caring about the little things, like just flipping off the light switch, and the big things, like enacting political change. And so through cleanups, speaker talks, tutoring, rather than sitting back, watching, and being scared by the news that I see every single day, I decided to do something about it. But I am still scared. I'm scared for my future. I'm scared for their future. And I'm scared for our planet's future. That's why I do what I do. You see, even though I've come such a long way since that timid freshman in the band room, the only real difference is that the adventurous side of me has grown. I've seen my fears as a challenge to be overcome, and I've used my fears to make the change that I want to see. But how can you use your fears to change the world today? You see, the first step is to learn the difference between the two types of fear, the good type and the bad type. Sometimes it's going to try to help you. Sometimes it's going to try to hurt you. Ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen? That's why even though that timid little voice in your head might never actually leave, it's not about being fearless. It's about knowing what it's telling you. And then the second step is to try new things. Yeah, saving the environment is my mission, but this is a big world, and there's a lot of other problems out there. They're just waiting for you to find them, and they're waiting for you to solve them. And then once you've learned that difference, once you've started to try new things, the third and final step is to use your fear. Change the way that you think about it. Sometimes it might be that challenge to be overcome. Either way, it's not your enemy. Whether you're teaching a summer camp, or taking a plane ride, or doing whatever else it is that you do, I want you to listen to it. I want you to harness it. And I want you to overcome it. Yeah, the future is scary, and none of us have any idea what it holds. And sometimes I do really wish that I were a freshman again, sitting in the band room, watching his friends play video games during lunch. But then I realize that if I am, nothing in the world will change. So the next time life throws something new at you, and both those voices, the timid and the adventurous one, are sitting on your shoulders, shouting completely opposite messages at you at the exact same time, what will you do? Thank you.